In this IAM tutorial for beginners, we are going to discuss about IAM groups in AWS. In the previous chapter, we learned about IAM users, but now we are going to have some more knowledge and some more practical experience about the importance of IAM groups. So let's get started. And before we get started, make sure that you subscribe DevOps Molvi. So, guys, first of all, let me answer that what are IAM groups in AWS? And I hope that you know the concept of grouping, right? Like we create a WhatsApp group and we add members to it. Whatever we share in that WhatsApp group is automatically shared with everyone who is in that group, right? So that is actually the same concept of grouping in identity and access management. So in IAM, the groups are actually a way to organize and manage permissions for multiple users at once in AWS. So, for instance, we have 50 users and they all need S3 read only access. So, instead of attaching the policies with individual users, I mean, one by one, instead, we are going to create a group like S3 group. And then we can add those users into that group, and the policy is going to be attached with the group, and all the users in that group will automatically inherit that policy. Okay, so that is actually the core idea. Instead of attaching permissions and policies with each user individually, we can instead create a group, and then we can attach policies to that group, and every user will get those permissions automatically because those users are added in that group. So that is actually the core idea, and it is obvious that a group can have multiple IAM users, and a user can belong to multiple groups as well, and a group can have many IAM users, and we can attach IAM policies, which are actually the permissions, right? You know about these policies, okay? IAM policies, which are JSON documents. We have discussed them in our AWS Solutions Architect lecture. So we can attach IAM policies to the group. Okay, I'm going to attach one policy to the group, and all the 50 users, let's suppose, in that group will get those permissions. Those permissions will be applied to everyone in that group. And by the way, what is the benefit of doing so? Why do we need to create a group? Because it would be easier to manage at scale. Let's suppose I'm going to give you the example of like we have 50 developers in our company, and all those developers need the same S3 and EC2 access. Let's suppose, okay, all those 50 developers need the same simple storage service and elastic compute cloud service access. So instead, if I am going to attach the policies of S3 and EC2 50 times with every user, I am going to create a group like developers. Okay, that group name would be developers, and I will attach those two policies with that group, and by adding all those 50 users, 50 developers into that group, all those developers will get the S3 and EC2 access. So it also reduces the risk of accidentally giving one user different permissions than their peers. Let's suppose if we have 50 developers, and I have to make sure that each and every developer should have the same access level. So creating a group and then attaching policies to that group also reduces the risk of accidentally giving a single user different permissions than his colleagues and peers working in the same organization. And also one of the best advantage, which is my personal favorite, is to simplify the onboarding and offboarding process. For instance, if you are a DevOps lead, then you can add a new joinee, new DevOps intern, new DevOps employee in that has who has joined your company, who has joined your organization. We are going to add him or her into the right group, and then that new joinee, that new guy or girl will will instantly get the correct access, and then we can also remove and revoke the access when he or she resigns. So there are a couple of examples, like we have admin groups. All the users in the admin group have the full access policy, and then that access is actually delegated among other junior DevOps and senior DevOps engineers. So there must be an admin, two or three people who are admins. We have developer groups, okay, like those the people in that group can have developer service access, like code commit or code pipeline, okay, or Lambda. Then we can have a billing group, which has read only billing and cost access management. And we can have only read only group with which has only view only access across different services. So the process is literally super easy. So you can see that I am on my dashboard, right? So in my dashboard, you can see I have one user group. Here is the user, and I have created an EC2 team group. So in this group, there are two users, and the permissions attached to these to the group are it is going to take a little bit time. Then the policies and permissions are going to get loaded. Okay, now you can see that group is actually having two policies attached: EC2 full access and S3 full access. So it means that the users in that group, there are two users, by the way, Adam DevOps and Manoj, and those both users have equal permissions of full access of EC2 and simple storage service. So I can also attach more permissions to that group. Okay, from here I can attach the policies directly with the group, and the users in that group will get those policies. For instance, I want to give this group, like I must give it as ECR full access. Okay, like I have it here. Let me scroll down. ECR full access. It is actually a customer managed policy which I created myself, and then I'm going to attach this policy with the group. Remember, I'm not attaching this policy individually with the users. I have attached it with the IAM group. Now there should be three policies attached with that group. And so it means that each user in that group, like Adam and Manoj, will get the ECR full access as well. So for instance, if there is another user who is a new joinee, David, okay, who has joined our organization, I have created his IAM user. Now simply I am going to add him to the EC2 team group, and automatically David DevOps will get all those policies as well. Okay, so now there are three permissions that are attached with EC2 team group, and this group has three users. If you are going to review the permissions for each user, you can click on that user. It will navigate us to the IAM console. Now, for instance, if I want to review Manoj's access, okay, so I can see the permissions that are attached with Manoj directly or via the group. So you can see this user Manoj has a policy directly attached with it. Okay, ECS full access is a policy that was directly attached with Manoj. And then Manoj is also getting 3 more permissions via the EC2 team group, right? You can see it is EC2 team group. This policy comes from EC2 team group. Okay, so now let's suppose that Manoj has resigned. Okay, Manoj has uh, is going to leave the company. So instead, I'm just going to the IAM user groups, and I will revoke his access, and I will remove this Manoj user from the EC2 team group. Okay, now Manoj has been removed. Okay, so it means that all the policies that were attached with Manoj have been removed. Okay, so and after that I will remove Manoj IAM user as well from the from our AWS console, from our AWS account. So IAM users, it is super easy to create IAM groups. Like if I click on create group, I can like devs. Okay, this is the new group. And now from here, if there are 50 developers here, I should know their IAM users, and then I can attach Adam DevOps and David DevOps into that new group. Okay, and then I can attach the policies. Okay, here there are a number of policies: AWS managed policy and customer managed policies. Let's suppose if I want to give S3 full access only, S3 full access. So here I am going to create this user. So it means that now there are 2 groups. Similarly, I can create another group, and I am going to name it as admins. So this is the most powerful group in any company. Okay, and then for instance, Adam has been now promoted to senior DevOps or DevOps lead, and he is going to be added into the admins group along with his other 2 or 3 team members. So I am going to add Adam DevOps, and this group will have the administrator access. Now, for instance, if I am yes, this is the most powerful policy because it provides full access to all AWS services, right? You can see here the explanation is given under description. So this is actually the most powerful access, and I'm going to attach it to the admin group. So only now you can see, let me create this group first. So this is this is the admins group, and only one user is admin, which who is Adam DevOps. So it means that Adam DevOps now has the full access of management of AWS account for this company, and he has the administrator access. Okay, so that's how, guys, we can create groups, and that's how we can add or remove permissions to that group, and we can also add or remove users from the IAM groups. So now there are actually only 2 or 3 groups, but if we are talking about 50 or 60 or hundreds of users, then definitely IAM groups are going to offload a lot of permission assignment stuff and permissions hurdles from the DevOps leads. Simply, they are going to add or remove new joiners, new DevOps interns, or mid-level DevOps interns into their respective groups. If someone is added to the data engineering team, then there must be a separate group for the data services. For billing services, there must be a separate group for the billing users. So that's how actually the hierarchy and authentication and authorization works when we have hundreds of people working for the same company under one AWS or multiple AWS accounts. So I'm pretty sure that now you have the core idea, the core concept of AWS groups, IAM groups clear. So you can also review the permissions of any group of any users individually, okay, and then we can attach and remove the policies from the IAM groups. And I have explained every aspect of IAM groups. Let's meet you guys in our next short tutorial of IAM policies. I have given you the overview of IAM user, and then we have covered today IAM user groups. Since IAM plays a literally very crucial role in every organization, that's why you must learn each and every aspect of IAM. So don't worry, I got your back, and we are going to learn all these access management policies, roles, users groups, and identity providers in our short series. This is actually a separate playlist with short AWS tutorials, and I request you from the bottom of my heart that make sure that you subscribe DevOps Molvi. See you, have a good one, and bye.